Cheesecake has always been one of my favorite desserts because it's make ahead, it's universally loved, and it's so easy. Plus, this lemon cheesecake is gonna change the way you look at cheesecake, and I'm craving cheesecake, so let's get started. The crust is so easy, and all you need are 3 ingredients. You can buy graham cracker crumbs that are already crushed, or crush your own in a food processor. If you don't have a food processor, you can also put the crackers into a zip bag and crush them with a rolling pin. You should end up with 1 3/4 cups of graham cracker crumbs. I like to transfer them to a measuring cup and do all of my mixing right in the cup. To the crumbs, add 2 tablespoons of sugar and stir that together. Then we're gonna add 6 tablespoons of unsalted melted butter. Stir that together until the crumbs are all moistened. You'll need a 9-inch springform pan. For the cheesecake to release easier, add a little dot of butter, then line with a round of parchment paper. Now add your crumbs and spread them evenly into the pan with the back of the spoon. Smooth them out while pressing down into the pan, and also push the crumbs slightly up the sides of the pan. Bake the crust in the center of a preheated oven at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for 8 minutes, then transfer it to a rack to cool completely. You can make the crust ahead of time if you want to, but usually while that cools, I make the lemon cheesecake filling. You can use an electric hand mixer, but I find the easiest way to make cheesecake is in the bowl of a stand mixer. Add your room temperature cream cheese along with 1 cup of sugar to your mixing bowl. Now using the paddle attachment, beat that on medium-high speed for 5 minutes or until the mixture is completely smooth. Scrape down the sides of the bowl a couple of times to make sure you don't have any lumps. Once your mixture is completely smooth and whipped, add in your room temperature eggs. To ensure you don't get any shells in the batter, crack them into a cup first, reduce to medium speed, and add the eggs one at a time, letting them incorporate with each addition. Scrape down the bowl again, then reduce to low speed and add your sour cream. Also add your lemon zest, and it's super important to zest the lemon before you juice it, otherwise it'll be impossible to zest it afterwards. Add your fresh squeezed lemon juice, then last but not least, add vanilla extract. This is our homemade vanilla, it's just 2 ingredients and I will link to it in the notes. Continue mixing on low speed just until everything is really well incorporated, and scrape down the bowl as needed. We're gonna cook this in a water bath, which is the best way to ensure you don't have cracks in your cheesecake. To do that, you'll need 2 large, heavy-duty sheets of foil. Carefully wrap that up the sides of your pre-baked and cooled crust. I also like to fan it out slightly at the top to ensure no water gets inside. And make sure you don't tear any holes in your foil. Pour your cheesecake batter over your cooled crust. Now set your foil-wrapped cheesecake into a deep roasting pan. I've heated a full kettle of water, and I like using a kettle because I find it prevents splashes. Add that to your roasting pan about 1 inch up the sides of your springform pan. Now very carefully transfer that cheesecake to the center rack of the oven and bake at 450 degrees Fahrenheit for 15 minutes. Without opening the door, reduce the heat to 225 and continue baking for about another hour, or until you just see a slight wobble in the center of your cheesecake when you jolt the pan. Once it's out of the oven, let it cool in that roasting pan for 45 minutes, then transfer to a wire rack to cool completely to room temperature. Now cover and refrigerate your cheesecake overnight before slicing. Chilling in the refrigerator is a critical step which allows the cheesecake to set properly. Otherwise, if you slice into it before it chills, it can be soupy in the center. The beauty of this recipe is you can make this cheesecake days ahead of time. To release it from the springform pan, run a thin knife around the edges, then gently remove the springform mold. You can serve it right off of the springform base, but I do like to transfer it to a serving platter. And remember, we use that parchment paper underneath, so transferring becomes so much easier. You can also carefully peel back the parchment paper if you don't want it underneath your cheesecake. I like to add my toppings just before serving, although it does keep really well even with the toppings on it. We'll start with a super easy whipped cream. You'll need a cup of heavy whipping cream, then add 3 tablespoons of sugar and, of course, our homemade vanilla extract. Beat that together on medium-high speed until stiff peaks form. You want it to be whipped and pipeable, but don't overbeat because it starts to turn buttery. I'm using a large open star tip and fitting it to a disposable pastry bag, and I will leave links to this and all of the tools that I use to make this recipe in the notes. Transfer your whipped cream to your piping bag. You can use all or some of the whipped cream to top your cheesecake. I usually have about a quarter of it left, which is great for my morning coffee. Prime your bag, then tighten off the end, and we're ready to pipe. Before we add the whipped cream, I am going to add some lemon curd, and I'm using a homemade lemon curd, of course, and I will leave a link to our easy recipe in the notes, but you can also use store-bought if you prefer. The lemon curd adds a vibrant lemony flavor to every bite of this cheesecake. Spread that out over the top with a spatula, then I like to use a teaspoon and just go around in circles on the top to create a nice groove. It definitely would help if I had a cake spinner, but we'll use what we have. Now pipe generous puffs of whipped cream around the edges of your cheesecake. This is the pattern I'm using, but you can get creative with it and pipe little rosettes or whatever you like. To make sure everyone knows this is a lemon cheesecake, we're gonna add some lemon wedges to the top. I like to insert those into the grooves of my whipped cream. It makes for such a beautiful presentation. All right, just put the finishing touches on this, and it is time to enjoy this. Look at what a stunning and beautiful cake this is. Lemon cheesecake, everyone. It is really just so simple, but so striking. Doesn't it kind of look like it just came out of a fancy bakery? I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty proud of myself, I don't know. Also, I took one of these to my parents' house for our big Easter dinner, and it was such a hit. The adults loved it, the kids loved it, rave reviews all around. I'm so happy to finally share this with you. I've been working on it for a while. It'll totally change the way you think about cheesecake because the lemon in the cheesecake batter, both the lemon zest and the lemon juice make it so fresh. But enough talking, I totally want some cheesecake, so we're gonna cut into this. All I need to do is grab a knife. That would be helpful. What knife? All my knives. And what I love about this is it's totally make ahead, whether you want to assemble it fully like this and store it in the fridge, or if you don't decorate it, you can keep it for several days in the fridge. Cheesecake is the ultimate make ahead dessert. It doesn't change anything in quality if you make it a few days ahead. You will love it. And freeze as well, just without the decorations. Put the decorations on before you serve it. Okay, I'm still talking and I want cheesecake. Come on. All right, get a big generous slice for me. And this cuts through so smooth and easy. But my favorite tip for cutting cheesecake, because the knife will have some residue on it every slice, is to clean it with a damp paper towel. And that way you'll get much cleaner slices and your cheesecake will still look pretty when you're done slicing it. Let's serve this up. Okay, and I want you to get in close and look at the texture because it is phenomenal. It's like airy and creamy at the same time. Look at that. So many delicious layers of flavor. You'll love the crust, the amazing cheesecake center, and then having that lemon curd on top like cuts through every single bite. So much flavor, do not skip that, it's amazing. Just gonna slide that right onto my plate. We're gonna just go ahead and take a bite. I've been waiting for this. Oh, my mouth is watering because I know just how good this is. It's not my first rodeo, okay? Okay, here we go. It's so tart and tangy and sweet. It has the perfect flavor combination. Oh, this makes me so happy. Perfect for spring with the lemon, but you can really make this year round because lemon is available year round. It's just such a treat. You don't have to think of any other topping. Lemon curd is perfect here. I have an amazing homemade recipe for lemon curd, but you can also use store-bought if you forget to make it or just don't want to do it. That's fine. Although homemade is just next level delicious and really easy too. So if you've never tried to make your own lemon curd, I will leave a link to it in the notes. You have to try it. It's really easy. You'll try it and you'll be like, she was right. Okay. All right, I'm getting a little carried away. I would love to finish this slice of cheesecake, and I know my husband's over there eyeing it too. Let me know where you guys spotted Sharky in the video, and very, very important, we do have a really good cheesecake recipe in our cookbook. What's special and unique about it, let's see if I can find it real quick because I didn't find it ahead of time. Irresponsible. Oh, berry cheesecake bars. This one's even easier. Like if it could get easier than this, it can. You bake this in a cake pan. You don't need a water bath. It takes way less time to cool before you can dig into it. It's really fun for parties and you can cut it into these little bars. And that berry topping, I'm telling you, you'll love it. If you haven't already, I will leave a link to our cookbook in the notes. I hope you love every recipe you try. And let me know if you guys have any requests for recipes on our channel. I love, love, love to hear your suggestions. And we'll see you in the next episode of Natasha's Kitchen. All right, come to mama. Oh. This gives me a little dance. It makes me want to move and jive. I have zero dance moves, by the way. I'm sure you've all noticed this by now.